Vos émissions préférées, elles sont toutes sur Radio Grand Lac.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Bonjour, bonjour chers auditeurs, bienvenue à Your English Weekly sur le 92.1 FM, l'émission qui présente le meilleur de la langue anglaise et bien sûr avec de la divertissement en anglais. Je suis votre animatrice Sinead et je suis ravie d'y être ici aujourd'hui avec Tim. Hello Tim.
Hi Sinead.
Vous pouvez nous trouver à Your English Workshop à Aix ou à la Ravoie et à bientôt à Technolac, l'ouverture pour septembre. N'oubliez pas, nos stages d'enfants primaires et collège sont ouvertes pour les inscriptions, soit chez nous, soit à la CNVA, notre partenaire. L'épisode aujourd'hui est de niveau A2 et B1 avec un contenu passionnant, bien sûr, qui vont vous aider à améliorer votre anglais avec le vocabulaire. Vous pouvez réécouter cette émission sur YouTube. Good afternoon, lovely listeners, and welcome to Your English Weekly on 92.1 FM, the show that brings you the best of the English language with myself and Tim, with culture and entertainment. I'm your host, Sinead, and Tim's here with me today. Tim,
Yes.
What are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about the 4-day work week is a winner.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about influencers and influencing. So you will have lots of vocabulary with that today, and of course, turn up the sound and stay with us for the next 15 minutes. So Tim,
Yes.
before we start,
Yes.
can you tell me what we're going to hear today as our pun?
Aha. Okay. Well, you'll have to listen carefully. Did you hear about the hungry clock?
Okay, so a hungry clock. So a clock cannot be hungry because a clock ticks. It can go back or it can go forward, but it ticks.
Okay.
No, tell me, what is it?
It went back 4 seconds.
Oh, hungry. And when you're hungry and you want more food, you go for what we call second helpings.
Yes, that's it.
So 4 seconds. So listeners, it goes back 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you're hungry, you go back for a second helping. So 4 seconds. Ah, very interesting. Thank you, Tim, for that.
Welcome. You're welcome.
So Tim,
Yes.
you're going to talk about a 4-day work week
Well, yes.
this week.
Yes, it's not the first time I've heard of this. I think it was tested in Scandinavia originally.
Okay. And what vocabulary are our listeners going to hear then today about this?
So we have a trial,
Donc, un essai,
the well-being,
le bien-être.
turnover,
Alors, turnover has 2 meanings. Soit c'est le CA d'une entreprise, le chiffre d'affaires, or a rotation of staff.
to hold over time,
Bah, tenir dans le temps,
to prove otherwise,
prouver le contraire.
an improvement,
Une amélioration,
and steady.
constant.
Yep. Okay, so firms in the UK ran a trial to test a 4-day work week. 1 year later, 54 out of the 61 firms decided to keep the policy, and 31 of them have decided to make the policy permanent. Overall, 82% of the surveyed firms have reported positive impacts on the well-beings of staff with less turnover. Skeptics did not believe the effects would hold over time, but the study proved otherwise. The report's author, Juliet Shaw, Professor of Sociology at Boston College, said the results showed real and long-lasting effects. Physical and mental health and work-life balance are significantly better than at 6 months. Burnout and life satisfaction improvements held steady, she said. So basically, who doesn't want an extra day to spend at home with their family or friends.
Exactly. And it's true. Family and friends are extremely important.
Yes.
So it's good to hear about that. Fantastic. Yes. So we won't be working 5 days anymore. We'll be working 4. Why not?
Is that something you want to do at your English workshop, Sinead?
Well, we do already with people.
I guess
we have people. You only work 4 days.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah, you only work 4 days. Okay, so let's talk about influencers. So what is an influencer, Tim?
Off the top of my head, it's someone that influences people, right?
Yeah.
But on social media, is that the...
Exactly.
Okay.
It's the same type of thing. So some of the vocabulary, listeners, that you're going to hear today is to influence, because an influenceur, c'est un influenceur, like in French, but if you want to influence, c'est inciter. Followers, des adeptes, trust, confiance, tool, outil, trustworthy, confiance aussi. So you've got trust and trustworthy. Fashion, la mode. Then you've got monitor, survey, real time, le temps réel, comme en français. Target, ciblé. Trend set, tendance. Brand loyalty, fidélisation de marque. And tags, same in French, tag. And brand launches, donc les lancements des marques. Okay, listeners, are you ready to hear? So an influencer, you're right, Tim, is somebody or a person who has the power to influence people in buying things because their authority, position, and relationship with their audience is important. Influencers have what we call followers on social media platforms. They create content that connects with their followers, their people who follow them, who give trust and engagement over time. These people have companies who collaborate with them and often used as a marketing tool. So, why would somebody be an influencer? Well, or why are you an influencer? Influencers have very specialized knowledge or expertise in a particular area, such as fashion, beauty, fitness, travel, technology, or even in gaming. They have a large and engaged audience on platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, or blogs. Usually the influencers are trustworthy people and they are creditable by the followers who value their opinions and recommendations. So these influencers create authentic content that matches with their audience, including photos, videos, articles, and social media posts. So what type of influencers do we have, Tim? Do you have any idea?
Well, I guess if you're a sportsman, for example, you could have a following, couldn't you? If you're a famous sports player,
and then a lot of famous people are influencers, if they like it or not.
Yeah, and then they get brands that want to endorse them. Yeah.
Now, listeners, endorse means that they are the people who people follow more of them, and people discover their brand from them. So we have nano influencers who don't have too many followers. They have about 1,000. You've got micro influencers. They've got between 1,000 and 10,000 followers. You've got macro influencers, which is about 100,000 people to 1 million followers. You've got mega influencers who have over 1 million followers.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a lot of people. So often brands they choose an influencer based on his or her relevance to the brand's target audience. The authenticity of their content and their engagement rates is why the company will choose them. So why is the job important? It's important because they give improved online presence in real time with feedback, insights, and they often do what they call a trend set, the tendance, the trend set without sometimes cultural relevance. Overall, influencers play a key role in shaping consumer behavior, donc avec l'évolution comportementale, and they help brand loyalty and enhance marketing strategies in the digital age, which is what we are in today. Of course, now they can use AI with magic tools such as like you and I who are not influencers, we could have Magic Post help us create a little post. But that's more for LinkedIn than it is for Instagram. But who knows in the future? So would you consider an influencer a job?
I guess as long as it brings in money.
Well, believe it or not, it is a very hard job.
I bet it's hard, yes.
Yeah, because it's like every job. They have to put a lot of time, effort, etc. Because they've got to create content with videos, posts, blogs, podcasts, social media, etc. Then they've got to edit it and refine the content to ensure it meets the standard of what the brand name is looking for and the quality that matches the audience. And then they've got to make sure that the audience engages with them. So they've got to respond with comments, messages, questions, etc. When that's finished, they've got to analyze the feedback and they've got to monitor to give back to their customers, to their clients. So, there's a lot of there. And then they've got to negotiate the partnership for the next time, perhaps, and negotiate the terms of collaborating with creating sponsored content and make sure their hashtags, their tags, are the right tags for the person who's sponsored. Then, of course, they've got to keep growing their following. They've got to network. They've got to build relationships with their influencers, etc.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of collaboration and what have you, but it also gives opportunities as well for the brand names to be seen on different places. They also have to attend events. So they often go to conferences, they do brand launching, they stay connected and visible in their niche. I think it's the same word in French.
Yes.
A niche in their sector. Well, listeners, I hope now you learned lots of new words with myself and Tim today. Between the 4-day work week and, of course, influencers. But before I finish, my tip of the day is if you're going to make a post, now let's just talk about LinkedIn, because we don't always get an influencer to come in and influence our post for LinkedIn, but we need to post on LinkedIn. Well, today, believe it or not, we have a new tool with AI, of course, which helps, called Magic Post. So Magic Post is to help you post things on LinkedIn, and it was created here in Savoy. So it's a tool that will help you enhance, make better your post that you have posted for LinkedIn. So listeners, if you need help with creating content for LinkedIn, don't hesitate to go onto their website, Magic Post with LinkedIn. It's worth looking at. Well, I hope you learned more of myself and Tim today, expanded your vocabulary, and of course you can listen to us again on YouTube on 92.1 FM, Radio Grand Lac, and of course You can hear us again. We'll be back next week from 12:15 to 12:30, like every week, providing the perfect dose of speaking English. So don't miss out on the fun. Come back next week. But between now and next week, tonight at 7 o'clock, donc à 19h ce soir, the 16/9 with Guillaume, Kevin, and Vincent. Well, listeners, bye to you for this week. Bye, Tim.
Bye, Sinead.
And talk to you next week. Bye to you from us at you.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Radio Grand Lac.
Votre radio.